All right, let's break down what are the best and worst skills when it comes to earning money in music through gigging. So if you're new here, my name is Luan. I'm a professional musician, graduated Berkeley with a scholarship, got a free online music school, which teaches you everything I know in practical lessons. So you can just watch that for free, have fun, enjoy it, and crush your musical goals. So this is part of our gigging course. This is where you can make money in music. Now, straight off the bat, I'm going to be pretty brutal with this because I've gone through it. And I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes that I have made. So there's pretty much 4 things that I would look at as like the main areas that you can make money through gigging. Like, obviously, I'm going to remove the 0.0001% of like touring with a gigantic band and like making heaps of money. Well, actually, let's be real, they actually don't make a lot of money, truly. Like, they really don't make that much money. A lot of people who are just playing in bars are actually making way more money than people who are part of like major touring acts with some of like the best musicians, you know. It is quite a wild industry. But let's ignore the 0.0001% because that is incredibly hard to get into. And if you are at the level that you can do that, just leave this video and keep doing what you're doing because you are crushing it, and keep practicing. And there's nothing I want to do except watch you win. Now, this is for everyone who is human, who doesn't have, you know, a 10-hour practice work ethic, who is wanting to make money in gigging, who wants to win, and who's like, well, what are the deficiencies that I might have, and what are the limitations to where I'm at right now? So the 4 things that you could possibly do to pretty much be successful within like the pub scene, bar scene, things like that. You could either be an instrumentalist and play for other people. You could be a DJ, or you could be a singer. And those 3 things paired, like I split the singing into 4 because into 2 other ones, because you can either be a singer that has a backing track or a band, or you are a singer who can play an instrument, which is what I do. I sing and play guitar. So those are the 4 things that I really look at it. And I've eliminated band because band is kind of like you're either going to be in one of the camps of either being a singer or an instrumentalist, in which case they're not really like they are their own separate thing, because we're talking about individual earning, not band earning. So right off the bat, the worst skill on the hierarchy of skills to make money through music is being an instrumentalist, is being someone who plays an instrument. Now, the reason why this sucks is because you have 2 limiting factors. If you were in any other, like if you were the singer or you're the person who runs the show, you only, the factor that determines whether or not you get a gig or not is you need to get the client to say yes, or the manager or the booking agent to say yes. Now, if you're the instrumentalist, you have 2 points. You have that booking needs to happen, and that booking needs to include you. So you play a very, very interesting game of where you don't really control what the hell's going on. So you need to be really, really happy if you've got a great act that you can work with, or a band member that you can work with, or a singer that you can work with, that you know that they have your best interests at heart, and you deliver enough value that they're going to keep hiring you, and they're not going to randomly change. Where like sometimes people literally change because some guy has a trailer and some guy doesn't. Some person has a car, some person doesn't. And like, you could lose a gig because of that, which is crazy, right? But hey, that's the world we live in. You know, this is not, you know, money isn't free. And especially now, it's really, really hard. I know it's a lot of really, I mean, it's hard for me. It's hard for a lot of other people trying to gig with inflation and you know, heaps of venues that are cutting costs, and they're trying to find the cheapest way to get the best entertainment that they can. Like, that is their goal. Get the best entertainment possible for the least amount of money. That is a venue's number 1 goal. And so you just got to remember that's how it works. So if you're just someone who can play an instrument, you don't know how to sing, you don't know how to do anything like that, you are in a dangerous zone, and it's very volatile. And I would highly recommend you go to my free music school, you start learning how to sing and play, you start picking up other skills, and you start learning how to be super, super valuable. But I'll do a really, really in-depth video on how you can crush it as a session player, because if you truly never want to do any of those things, you never have aspirations to be a solo performer, I'm going to give you the whole roadmap on how you can absolutely crush it. But this is a tier, like, we're just trying to rank the things so you guys can be aware of like what is the things that you should learn. Now, the 2 skills, these 2 next skills, I would say they're like pretty close. Some scenarios, one's better than the other, and vice versa. DJing and singing with backing tracks. So these skills typically can make good money. The problems that come with this is DJing is a really, really easy skill to copy. And like when I say DJing is a really easy skill to like learn, there are people who 100% should not be calling themselves DJs, but the bare minimum to be a DJ is someone who has a semi-decent playlist and can actually auto mix. Like you literally can just crossfade. If you can crossfade with a good playlist, you are technically a DJ. And we're not talking about like doing like effect drops and things like a reverb swap or whatever, like, or quick mixing, none of that stuff. If you can just play the song from the beginning to the end, and each song flows very well together for the venue that you're playing at, you're good. You literally just need to stand up there with the deck and just be like, yeah, we're good. And you can pretend like you're moving things. You don't even have to have it plugged in. Honest to God, you don't even have to have the deck plugged in. You could just be playing it from Spotify. No one gives a shit. They're there to eat their food and do their things. And like that will get you paid. But the problem is it is quite easy to get into. So that means there's a lot of competition and you're not really going to make that much money off of it very quickly. Singing with backing tracks is the same. There are a lot of people that can sing. They sing in tune and they have these backing tracks that play in the background, and it sounds like it's karaoke. Will definitely feel like it's a bit karaoke, and very rarely, I've only ever seen one person locally who's crushed it with backing tracks. And but they were a phenomenal singer and they had a really, really strong stage presence, and that was how they sold it. They had to really perform. So singing and DJing is like, it's not the best. Now, if you're a DJ, this is where DJing can like trumpet. Like it can step out like and crush. If you're a DJ that understands quick mixing, has a really, really great great playlists, and you understand also like the game of lighting, and you understand how to hype people up really well, like emceeing, like brief emceeing and getting people into the crowd, man, oh, you can crush. Like you can do so well. So that's the only caveat when it comes to DJing. But again, unless you are an incredibly successful DJ, and that's quite hard to do. Like I would say very, very hard to do. You'd have to have a very strong operation and a lot of experience. Typically DJs hit a really hard ceiling for events quite quickly. And that ceiling can be like, you're sitting at like $1,000, $2,000 a show, maybe. Like it's pretty hard. Like, and and that's what's going to lead to the most important one, which I personally believe is like the best. But you know, you could take these for a grain of salt. This is Luan's opinion, right? Because I'm obviously going to be biased because this is what I do for a living and this is how I do things. The number one thing is singing and playing an instrument. If you can sing and play an instrument, you are going to get so much money. You can go and play as many gigs as you want. You can do as anytime you want. You can scale down your performance. If you want to have a band, you get the band. If you don't want to have a band, you go and perform solo. It's really easy. You can play in bars. You can play in clubs. You can play in restaurants. You can play in a backyard. You can do anything. Very, very effective. And a lot of the times when people are booking you and you're trying to build a career, they are looking for live music. Now, the reason why singing with a backing track gets really, really frustrating for people is when they hire someone who's singing with a backing track, just the act of having a backing track makes you feel like you're not live. Because you're not live. You're singing live, but the backing track ain't live. And some people don't mind it, but a lot of people will mind it. And so there's a thing called I look at it as like acoustic shaped object. Like when someone hires someone to sing and play, they want to see a person with an acoustic guitar singing and playing and doing it and playing the chords and performing. That's what they want to see. You just got to tick that box. So if you can deliver that by literally showing up with a mic stand, microphone, your acoustic guitar and you sing, you have ticked the box of I wanted a live performer at my event. I wanted a live singer at my event. I wanted a live band at my event if you have like a band. But just showing up, you've already won a huge, huge chunk of people's confidence towards what you are offering. So just remember that. And then obviously with singing and playing, you can get really, really good. And as you get really, really good as a singer and you can play more songs, you can build a unique brand around what you do locally and people will pay more money for it. Now, I'm going to give you the secret one. This is the super like crazy high leverage. Learn how to sing and play guitar and DJ. So this is where like you can fucking crush. Like you want to make money, learn how to sing, learn how to play an instrument, and learn how to DJ because your life gets so easy. You can do a really cool performance where you sing acoustically and perform, and then you can end the night DJing. And like, my God, you could do weddings, crush it, because now you're hitting like way long of the wedding. So when I do solo performances, now every time I do a booking, it's booking per night. So when someone books me, it's like they're booking me for a cocktail hour, for reception, for the whole, like, I don't care. I'm like, you book me, we're going to do the whole thing. It's going to crush whatever you need. We're good. I just try to eliminate like how many hours do you want me, things like that. And that makes it really, really clean on my booking part, and everyone loves it because it's high value. So you don't have to do it if you don't want to. Some people like to split it up. But if you can sing and play and you understand how DJing works, when I'm performing, I perform, engage everyone. One, I'm a very good performer and I know all the songs. And so I crush on that front. So sometimes people just don't ever want to hear their mixes, like the DJ mixes. But I have all these great DJ mixes that I know will crush. And so I have like an app, which is called, I think it's like Mix on Set. I think maybe they changed the name. But you can just simply auto mix. So you can do the most basic version of a DJ and have a crushing playlist. And then like, even if you didn't want a DJ and you just ran Spotify and had a crushing playlist, my God, people will love it. And typically what I'll do in my sets is I'll craft the set knowing what my DJ playlist is going to be like so that I'm setting them up so that when I go to take like a 15-minute break, or say, for instance, it's the end of the night, I'm going to end my show and then I'm going to do like a 30 to 40-minute DJ set or DJ set. I'm just going to be playing playlists and I know that's going to crush. And they're going to have the most wildest time. That means in that 30 minutes, I can start packing down all my equipment, get it all ready, just leave the like big pump of songs going, crank the volume, give them a wireless microphone if they want to karaoke. Who knows? It gets wild at my shows. But this pairing of understanding how DJing actually works and then being able to perform as well, you can set up the most craziest finales for your show because you could just bringing everyone in, and then you just play that banger song that you know that you couldn't do with an acoustic guitar and sing, and that banger song comes on and Usher's just like, yeah, and everyone's just like, wow. And they're just like, afterwards you finish playing, they're coming up to you be like, oh my God, you're so amazing. This is the best. I love my wedding. I love it. That's what your goal is to do. So that is the best pairing of skills that I know is if you can do that, you can leverage yourself and go crazy. Like you can make way more money than many people. So it's very, very important if you can work on those skills and understand how it works. Like you don't need to be a quick mixing DJ that crushes. You just need to be someone, and like any of these terms that I make like about DJing, you can Google them. And maybe DJ is going to get mad at me, but look, honestly, y'all know them. You know the DJs that literally just like push play on a playlist and it just auto mixes and like they're just literally crossfading. Like some of these DJ apps just do it for you, man. It's like, oh my God, it's the worst. And then when you actually see a really good DJ, you're like, that's what a really good DJ is. But people don't know. So this is the thing. When it comes to all these skills that I'm talking to you about, and you're trying to book gigs and you're trying to get better, people don't know. You know the difference because you're a DJ, but they only know, did my song get played and am I having fun? As soon as you don't do that, you are a bad DJ. But if you do that, if you do play the song the person wants, you play the song the bride wants, it might be a Lindsay Lohan song that you're never ever going to learn or play, and but it's the song that they want. You put that in, and then you weave that in with another, like, you know, Miley Cyrus Party in the USA or something like that crushes. they'll love you. And they don't care whether or not you're a DJ or not a DJ. They just want their music and they want it to be taken care of. So a lot of the times people just want to know that you know your shit and you can handle it. And so they just have to worry about partying. So just remember that when it comes to DJing and it comes to doing this kind of like scripting your, like building your set list and figuring things out and how you want the flow of the show, people just need to know that you know what you're doing. And as soon as they're like, man, this guy knows exactly what he's doing. He's controlling the whole night exactly what we want. Everyone's dancing, everyone's singing. That is the only objective. If people are having fun, you're doing the right job. And so a DJ could have technically better skills than a Spotify playlist. But if that DJ is doing mad mixes and things like that, and then he gives you a chorus of this song, and then he's already moving on to the next song, but that person really wanted to hear another chorus, you're missing. Who's better at that point? Because like I hear the feedback all the time. I'd rather have a Spotify playlist than this DJ. Sometimes I see it all the time. It's really brutal. Same thing goes with singers. I would rather have a Spotify playlist than a singer because the singer's not playing the songs that need to be played. The singer is not engaging the audience the way they need to be, interacted with, things like that. So just remember that when it comes to these skills. There's obviously little nuances, but being an instrumentalist, you're really shooting yourself in the foot and you're really limiting yourself. But I'll have a video to help you guys crush it if you have no other option. Second one, singing with a backing track, highly don't recommend, but if you have no other choice, totally do it. DJing, everyone should learn how to DJ or understand how DJing works because it's going to help you so much for your playlisting. And if you do decide to learn how to, do the decks and do all that kind of stuff and be like, wicka wicka yeah, it's really, really fun. And then singing and playing an instrument is just like the most god tier level of skill that you could learn. And it's going to open up a lot of doors and get you a lot of gigs and a lot of opportunities that honestly, a lot of people don't want to put in the work for it. So that's why it will always be an option. There will always be options for someone to be a solo performer. And so, and it is a great stepping stone for you moving into hiring other players to build a band from. Because if you have a strong foundation as a solo performer, you can then bring other people in and then you can make an even better product and sell even higher gigs and make more money and scale. But that's my 2 cents on skills for making money in music.